Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Watt, once again, it's nice to see you. Thank you for appearing for the committee for an extended period of time. I think back to one of my favorite engravings in the city of Washington, which is on the National Archives building, which is "What's Past is Prologue." And so I'm having a terrible flashback from a very, very bad movie listening to this discussion today. In 1984, when I was a staffer over on the Senate Banking Committee staff, Fannie and Freddie had about 1 in 400 loans that had a LTV of 3%. Then when I came back to government in 1990 and was at the Treasury, that had moved to 1 in 10. And then at the height of the crisis, it had moved to 1 in 2.5, or 40% of the loans in their combined portfolios were at that low down payment. And at the same time, that same direction took place in the debt-to-income ratios as well. So I just want to be on record with you that I share the concerns of many on this committee about this decision to lower down payment rates, notwithstanding counseling and FICO scores and private mortgage insurance. My question to you, I want to turn back to a line of questioning that Mr. Duffy had. And on this subject of the preferred stock arrangement with Treasury, for you to accrue money for the Housing Trust Fund, pay it out potentially in the Housing Trust Fund, did you seek a waiver from the preferred stock arrangement with Treasury to do that?
No, I did not.
And so it's purely on your judgment that from reading the statute that you've taken that money out of the system and not swept it to Treasury?
Well, there's no money to sweep unless there's a profit at the
Right.
end of the year, and there won't be any swept if there's not a profit.
Right, but you've taken the decision to sweep money if there is a profit.
Well,
I mean, to the Housing Trust Fund.
put it into
Right.
the house. Yes,
Right.
yes. Unless doing that would put them into a deficit situation.
Right, but did you seek approval from Treasury to do that?
No.
And don't you think that since they are the owner of that preferred stock on behalf of all the taxpayers, you should have checked with them first before taking money into the Housing Trust Fund as opposed to sweeping all the profits to the Treasury?
No.
And tell me again, I know you've covered some of this ground before, tell me again why you believe that's the case.
Why I shouldn't?
Why you believe you don't have to
Why I
seek
shouldn't get Treasury's approval?
Correct.
Because there's nothing in the preferred stock purchase agreement under which we operate that addresses the Housing Trust Fund. And so we're not violating the terms of the preferred stock purchase agreement in doing this. We're just simply complying with the law. And that's, so there's no reason for me to get Treasury's approval for that.
It just seems like when we own the shares of that company as the taxpayers, that we should want to have all the proceeds until there's a change, a structural change made, all the earnings of the company outside the core business operations. Any profit that's left should be sent to the Treasury.
That is still the rule. But you've taken, I keep reminding you, I wasn't there when these preferred stock purchase agreements were negotiated. If they had put it into the agreement, then I would be obligated by it. But there's no provision in the agreement that requires me to get approval to fund the Housing Trust Fund or to comply with any other law that is in existence. So I didn't get the approval.
But you were there and took the decision to take money away from the sweep and put it in the Housing Trust Fund. That was your decision to do that?
I made the decision to reverse the temporary termination of contributions to the Housing Trust Fund. Yes, I was there for that.
Thank you very much. I yield back.